Hey guys, and welcome to the Nashville for Nobody's podcast. I am your host, Bobby Gordon, along with my amazing co-host,
Brian Morelli. Hey, good to have you here. It's a Monday. Dude, it's a Monday. We spent Valentine's Day weekend away, so it's vacation brain. I'm coming out of it.
100%.
And, as soon as I open my mouth, I'm like, oh no, I'm not ready, am I?
That's been me all morning. I picked up the stuff to load the car, and I'm like, do I have everything?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Where am I going and why?
Right.
Make sure I have the right equipment. That's all day.
That's
That
cool.
has been all day. We have a guest today. I'm excited about this guest. I know of her by reputation and have seen her all over the place, all over socials, but this is our first chance to meet in person, so I'm super excited. Let's just dive right in. Vikki, where are you from?
I am from a place called Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
Let's go. Yes.
Our New York aficionado over here is excited.
Are you from New York?
New Jersey, no,
Oh, okay.
no. But when we have Northeast people, I'm always happy.
Yeah.
I'm always excited about it. Yeah.
Nashville gets a lot of you guys.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm like when I first moved here, the other Northeasterners just kind of flocked to me. Like I'm surrounded by Northeasterners at all times. I feel like all the people I play with.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like Drew Meckler, New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey guy, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what made you pick Nashville?
So originally I actually wanted to move to LA. Like that was like my dream for a long time. I was kind of sold on like the LA. I want to be a writer and do all that stuff, like work in the pop music world. And then I worked, I'm gonna use the term worked loosely. I was an unpaid intern for a little small record label out of New York City. And they were not paying me, but they were like, hey, to make up for the fact that we're not paying you, we're going on this trip. One of our artists is playing Americana Fest. This was like back in like 2018.
Wow.
And we want you to come out with us, flights paid for, you can stay in our Airbnb, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd never been here before, and I was like, okay, cool, awesome. Came here, instantly fell in love with the place. I ended up I had a Delta Sky Miles card at the time, and I was using all my Delta Sky Miles to just fly here. I flew here like 4 times in like the span of like a year and a half. I made friends with a few people here that I ended up staying with, and I just kind of like built this weird little life outside of my regular life in Nashville. But I didn't have the guts to move here for a long time because I was like, I don't have anything lined up. I didn't have a job. I didn't know what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I wanted to do Broadway, which is kind of a crazy thing when I say that to people, because they're like, why? Like, when you say that to people now, they're like, why would you want to do that? It's just a job. But like, I came here and I saw it, and I was freaking fascinated just by like the world of Broadway and like all these bands playing all day, every day. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I wanted to do it. So I, started making plans to move here. Then COVID happened. So I stayed in New York for a little bit longer. I ended up getting an office job, and then I got fired from that office job in April or May of 2021. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I had nothing lined up. I had no job lined up. I found a place to live on Facebook.
Nice.
From a random woman that I'd never seen the house before. I just drove myself down here to a house that I'd never seen. Luckily, it all worked out. And that's kind of just like what happened. I just took a really big leap of faith to move here.
I feel like the story either goes, I just came and whatever was going to happen was going to happen,
Yeah.
or I had a guy and just immediately jumped into gigs. Like that's the only two stories that we get on the podcast is I had nothing or I had an in, and it all boils down to one day I was just like, all right, I'm going to do it, and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Like, for everybody, and I literally mean almost everybody's origin story to be almost identical is nuts.
Oh yeah.
And still unique, like in the details of it. Were you doing music performance back up north before here? Or?
No.
Okay. Whoa.
So,
all right.
I had done Mostly like studio work, and like I was
Okay.
like, for a few years I was doing a lot of like sync writing. I was working with like a writing production group, but I wasn't like really doing anything publicly. I was very like kind of behind the scenes. I was very shy about it. I spent a lot of my life honestly being afraid to sing in front of people.
That's fair.
Which is crazy to say now because it's like second nature now. But it took me a long time to even like get the courage when I moved here to actually start pursuing Broadway. Like for the first maybe like year and a half, I was like kind of just hanging back.
Oh,
and
wow.
like watching it happen. Like I got a day job, you know what I mean? And I was watching all these people do it, and I was like, man, like I want to do this. I just had no clue how to start. You know, I knew a few people from like through friends that I'd met. Like I knew Kenny Walker was one of the first people
Yeah.
I knew on Broadway. He's actually the first person that like let me on a stage on Broadway.
That sounds about right.
Like he was playing with Dalton Black and
Oh, I love Dalton.
and Matt Gay. I don't know if you know him. He's a drummer. He's my friend Lindsay's fiance. Lindsay was one of the first people I met before I moved here, and that's kind of the connection there. But yeah, I had no clue how to start. And yeah, like, you know, it was an interesting thing. Like I don't know, it took me a while just to kind of get going.
So during that like year and a half, what kind of prep work were you doing?
I'm curious about that too. And I'm sorry to interject on this because like around that time, that was my first introduction to you. Kenny brought you to Stillery in Midtown and brought you up to sing You Ought to Know.
You were there?
I was your drummer for that song.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you come up, and I love that song. And that's, you know, that was an Andy Gavin show. We had a thing at the Stillery for a bit, and as during a dinner crowd, so we were always like kind of reserved on volume and stuff. And so Kenny comes to us. I was getting to know Kenny at the time. Annie knew Kenny, and so he's like, "Hey, my friend Vikki, like she's great. Like, can she come up and sing You Ought to Know?" So I'm like, "Okay, we're going to make a collective choice to rock the fuck out because like you can't
Right.
hold back on You Ought to Know is the thing."
Yeah.
And the thing is, you didn't, and it was awesome. So now here I'm like, well, you might be new to Nashville, but you're certainly not green. I would have thought you had years of performing experience on that one alone.
Yeah. Well, thank
And
you.
then you dove into Broadway and like just commanding stages after that. So definitely we're going to get on this pipeline, but I just wanted to interject with like, that was around that time. So getting back to your question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of like I met a few people along the way that like I was just kind of hanging out with, friends with, that also weren't really doing Broadway, but they were musicians. And I kind of got the idea one day. I was like, hey, like, should we like just kind of start like rehearsing some songs, like, you know, and like with the goal to start doing just like acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually rented out a rehearsal space at this place. I think it's called Sound Space. I don't know if they still exist.
I've heard of it.
I don't know most of there seems to be a new one like every couple weeks that
Yeah.
pops up or takes over one. I don't know.
Well, this place
It's a weird business.
This place was interesting because at the time they were doing this thing where you could rent, you could have like a membership type thing, and it was like $200 a month, and you can kind of just have unlimited access as long as it wasn't interfering with the other people
Yeah.
trying to like. It was like a booking system kind of thing. So I was like, all right, let me rent out this space and get a few guys in here and just like start practicing, you know? And that's what I did. Like I did some research. I asked a few people that were already doing Broadway, like, what are the songs I need to know? And I learned a bunch of the standards, and I just kind of ran with it. Did that for a while. And then I was kind of forming basically like an acoustic trio situation, because I was like,
Nice.
I think the easiest thing to do to start would be to do acoustic versus full band. And a few months into that, I stumbled upon a post on like, I think it was Yep. I wasn't even in NSL yet. And it was the booker for Big Machine Downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were looking for acoustic acts, and we had just like taken some videos on like my iPhone. Like it was like, you know, nothing crazy.
Super professional.
Yeah. And I just like kind of sent them over. I was like, hey, you know, like, and they took a chance on me. And we did a few gigs there, and then eventually they changed over bookers, but the management really, really liked me and wanted to keep me. So they started putting me on full band. And I was there for like a year. And I don't know if you're familiar with that bar, but it's off the beaten path. It's a really, really difficult bar to like, you know, get a crowd in. And, you know, so I know a lot of people kind of got their start in like the Tootsie circuit, and like that was like their training. I feel like my training ground was just kind of playing to no one a lot. But I was kind of grateful for that because it gave me, I guess, a lot of like paid practice time, you know? And it wasn't bad all the time, because if there was like an event at like Nissan, Big Machine's like the first bar right off of the pedestrian bridge.
Right, yeah.
So there were some nights where I was like, why are there people here? You know, and people were like popping off. But I was there for a while, and that's kind of like where I feel like I cut my teeth, per se, you know? So I'm very grateful for them taking a chance on me, because I don't know, I mean, I was, you know, I personally didn't want to go the Tootsie circuit route. I didn't want to do it, just from things I've heard.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So I was very lucky to have that opportunity, because I know it is harder to go that route versus going like the route that I went, which is just kind of trying to get booked, you know, versus going through the honky tonk school and all that stuff. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like if you're going in, excuse me, if you're trying to get booked at a venue on Broadway, you're also competing with all of the Broadway veterans that are trying to get booked on Broadway. So somebody that's been on Broadway for 5, 6, 7 years is also sending those emails trying to broaden their gigs. So yeah, being a fresh face, it's really hard to get noticed by a venue and get somebody to take a chance when they know this other dude's playing Broadway all the time and can hold a crowd.
Exactly.
So kudos for that. That's a big achievement just to get looked at, much less booked.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I'm very grateful for that, because I look back on like that first gig, because that was like one of my first actual gigs, honestly, ever. It was an acoustic trio, and I look at the videos of that, and I was like, I was so nervous. I was like I was standing. Like, I didn't want to sit for the acoustic gig, which now if I'm playing an acoustic gig, I'm sitting.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But, like, I was, like, so stiff and so nervous. And, like, over time, it just kind of, I don't know if you've seen me on stage now. I don't really stop moving. I'm kind of just, like, running around, spinning around. But that was probably, like, 2.5 years ago when that started. So, I mean, coming into my third year, I think. I've lost count. I don't really know exactly how long I've been doing this.
Exactly. I've been here long enough to where it feels like yesterday and 1,000 years ago at the same time.
Yeah.
So you were in music and behind the scenes doing your thing, and then jumped into rehearsing, and then basically just jumped on stage. What did you learn those first handful of shows on stage that you didn't foresee?
You know, I definitely, learning how to read a room was really, really hard for me. Kind of learning how to, like, I don't know how to word this. Like, there's like a kind of, like, I have my preferred kind of music that I like to do, which is generally like 90s, 2000s, pop, rock, a millennial's kind of dream. That's like my thing. But like, I didn't really know kind of like I'm at the point now where I can kind of like, if I see a certain demographic of human come into the bar, I kind of know like where to pivot musically. Yeah, sure. You know, if I see like an older group of people, I'm like, all right, maybe we should pivot to like classic rock. If I see them wearing cowboy hats and it's an older group of people, all right, let me see if maybe we can try to tease some country. Let's see what happens. I had no clue about that. I had absolutely no clue how to do that back then. Also, just like that like intuition, I just didn't have it. So that was big for me. Also, crowd work. I had no clue. Like that was, I feel like there are a lot of fronts that come in here and they're very like loud personalities and they're just naturally good at that. I'm not. I still struggle with that. That's still like something that like I get on a stage and I'd rather be singing than talking. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
For sure.
Like the talking thing, that's why like I'm probably going to bring up Drew Meckler a lot, but he is a huge asset to my show because Drew Meckler loves a mic. He loves to yap. And I love him for that. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, when he's not there, there is like a void, you know? Because like the banter is so important between like the band and everything, and he's a huge asset for that. But that was something that was a learned skill for me. And it's also like when you don't have like built-in crowds, like when I was at Big Machine, like it was kind of like I'm trying to keep people in a bar where they're already kind of just there to rest. They're not really there to party most of the time.
Yeah.
It was really hard to like work that muscle there. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that I learned there was mostly like repertoire and like just performance skills. That was the kind of stuff that I was getting off the ground there. I don't think it was until like I started taking fill-in calls when I started having to like flex the fronting, the actual fronting muscle.
Yeah.
You know,
So that muscle in particular, so that was developed more from fronting on other gigs.
Yeah.
So how was that then coming into like, hey, now here's a band that already has some system that you're first stepping into, maybe on a stage you haven't been to before, like all these different variables, but at once. I feel like you're all, like jumping into the deep end. Like,
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's so cool.
oh,
yeah.
dude, it was
Like,
terrifying.
oh my God.
I remember, I think the first two bands that gave me a shot was Dalton Black, and that was co-fronting, which was different, which was, you know, a lot easier. It was nice to have him there to like kind of watch what he does and the things that he says and like how he's like musically directing the show, you know, and like he was telling me what songs to sing, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, but it was also nice to like be able to finally like sing in front of crowds and like rowdy weekend night crowds. That was like the experience I got from him. But the first band that had me front for them, it was actually Monty and the Monsters.
Oh,
Jumping into the deep end.
Terrifying.
there isn't a deeper end to jump into.
My goodness.
I think it was Johnny Cash's. That was the first one that I did.
Wow.
And again, thank God for Drew Meckler.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he plays
Such a
on, yeah.
sweet dude. Yeah, that was definitely scary. Like I felt like when she called me for that, I was like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure you want me to cover for you?"
That's exactly how I would feel if she called me to play with her. I'd be like, "No, you're thinking of the wrong guy. You dialed the wrong number. Like, I can't compete."
Yeah, it was very scary. Like I think the first gig I did with them, I was like fully reliant on Drew to kind of like guide the show, and I was just kind of like working with him and trying to like, all right, maybe we should do this song and maybe we should do this song. I think one of the hardest things in general when you're like being called to front another person's band is like every band I feel like has like their system and their way of doing things, and finding the line of like, okay, they expect me to be the leader, but I also don't want to step on their toes and mess up their system entirely.
Yeah.
That was kind of hard. I still struggle with that. So like, you know, that was definitely tough. I'm the kind of person that when I'm entering someone else's band and their dynamic, I kind of like look to them for like how they want me to do things.
Yeah, you want to morph into what they do.
Versus like me just showing up and doing my thing, because it's like it's not my band, you know. Like I'm representing someone else's band, and like I want to represent them in the way that they want to be represented. Because like I've covered for people that run their shows very differently than mine. My show is a lot of banter and a lot of joking around, and you know, it can get like we kind of mess with the crowd a little bit. It's a lot of fun, like energy, but like, you know, I've covered for Coco and the Nash, Coco Groves, and like I love playing with them. I love that band. But you know, I know that when I'm entering into that situation, I have to operate a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like JBJs in general. That stage, you have to operate a little differently.
Yeah.
You know?
That stage is different.
It's a cool stage to look at, but being on it, it takes some time to get used to. It is a very intimidating stage to be on.
I struggle understanding the why.
Why they built it that
Yeah.
way. I don't know.
It's cool to look at. Like it definitely is. I think I'd be nervous about the height. I think I'd be yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, thankfully I'm seated and stationary. But I think I'd be nervous to move around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I could
would
see
take
people
one wrong
having
step.
accidents.
I'm somebody who would do that.
Well, yeah, because I wear sunglasses on stage, so I can't see. First of all, I have astigmatism to begin with. I have very bad vision. I'm not wearing my glasses. I only wear them to drive. I should wear them more. But on top of not being able to see very well, I also wear sunglasses on stage. And the reason I do that, by the way, is not to look cool. It's because my eyes are very light sensitive. I hate the stage lights. And I'm also a little shy and don't like making much eye contact with people.
Magic invisible glasses.
Yeah.
I feel like some people are like, oh, like, why do you wear those? Like you think you look cool. I'm like, no, it's not to look cool, I promise. It's purely from anxiety.
I'm just pretending to have a vibe.
Yeah, but yeah, doing that on the JBJ stage is interesting. You got to like watch your step because but also like that stage is interesting because I'm so used to like having my guitar player, my bassist right next to me and my drummer directly behind me. And like, you know, we love taking requests and sometimes we take requests we've never played before and like we're cueing each other.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that when I'm up here, they're back here, and then the drummer's all the way back there. You know, so that was also something that playing on that stage with a band that's not yours is tough. But yeah, I don't.
That's like everybody needs their own talkback mic on that one.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Well, they have one on for the person on the front, and then they have one, so they have talkbacks everywhere, which
That's good, okay.
which is good. But
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. What's been your favorite stage so far?
whew, that's a good question.
There's so many variables to that because it's not just the stage or the sound. It's the vibe you get when you play the room.
Yeah.
It's the kind of crowds that plays. Like so many variables.
Sure. And like if you're at JBJ's, you're kind of looking down at people, but other places you're a little more eye level. Like that's a different dynamic too.
The irony is like I do like the JBJ stage. Like the sound is the best I've ever experienced, which is nice. I think they're running what's the thing? There's mono and then there's stereo. They're running stereo in those ears, which is nice. I feel like when that room has been full, I've had the most fun there. I love Tin Roof though.
That's fair.
So the second floor stage I think is I don't know if you're familiar with the stages.
Yeah.
Of course you are. That stage is like a better stage than the main stage. Like
Oh, I agree.
you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean
You just have better crowds on the main stage.
yeah, exactly.
Nobody goes
Yeah.
upstairs.
Dude, honestly though, like I've been playing on that second floor Friday closing since like March of last year, and we've had some crazy nights up there. Like,
nice.
Yeah. Like, so, and when it's crazy up there, it's definitely a nice stage. I don't know. I haven't done Kid Rock's main yet.
Me.
You know.
I've done Kid Rock's roof a bunch of times. I don't like playing on that
I
stage.
used to live on that roof. Like that used to be my main gig, is the roof gig.
No, I was on there on Saturday night, and I don't know how they fit 5-piece bands up there, but we did.
Yeah.
And my ear is still muffled because I'm directly next to the drums. And I'm like trying to crank my in-ears, and it doesn't matter. I think I blew out my in-ears because I cranked it so much. Now I'm like kind of deaf today. So I'm hoping that is reversible. Yeah, definitely don't like that stage.
Hazards of the job.
Yeah,
We
for
should get
sure.
hazard pay.
Oh yeah, for
Right?
sure.
I know. Well, I played up there once and half the kit was like unusable broken. And it was like a Thursday opener. We didn't even see people until like 2.5 hours in, like that sort of thing. And so that was a unique experience. I've done their other floors, not main, but like, how do you fit? I'm curious about the size of some stages and how people fit on there, like an entire band with a kit, and then running sound on that. I don't know. I'm going off. There's some things that I'm going to stop.
If it made sense, it wouldn't be Broadway.
So real.
Wait, that's so real. Actually, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like consistently at gigs there is a, why is this like this? And that's the only reason. It's Broadway.
Yeah.
That's how they do things.
Why is this elevator out today? Why is this road closed? Why? Yeah. And it just is. It just is sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean,
it's
it
part
has
of
to be okay, right? We don't get another option.
I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting for me. I've learned to embrace it.
You're so positive.
He is. I need him. That's why he is here.
I almost got hit by a truck last week. Like, I was crossing 4th. I was in the wrong. I fully admit I was in the wrong. But, like, it could have been a closer call. It was a close enough call for my comfort. And then just continue walking into the garage to see if the elevator's out. It may or may not be. Like, but it's just part of the chaos, you know? I mean, and there's always a way around it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to find it.
Yeah.
I almost hit an old dude last night. Like, I was coming out of the garage, and, like, I stopped. He stopped. I started. He started. And then it was like, whoa. I was like, what do you mean, whoa? You were there. I was moving. Like, don't step in front of a car, dude.
Yeah.
They do that all the time. They do that. On Saturday night, I was on Broadway. I was trying to turn on the 3rd to get to the garage. And this group of dudes with beers in their hands, by the way, just started walking out when we had the green light, like across Broadway. And I'm honking at them. And they start flipping me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're walking in traffic on Broadway when you don't have the light. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of these people,
That's
man.
the thing. Like, I guess they don't have crosswalks in the rest of the country. I don't know how that works.
I genuinely think that sometimes. I'm like, a lot of these people act like this is like their first day on Earth, and I don't understand.
I mean, it comes with pictures.
Yeah. My dad works in New York City, so I was telling him about, like, hey, the traffic here is kind of nuts. Sometimes it's like similarly chaotic, but I was like, you just have to imagine, it's like everybody's drunk. You just have to assume everybody's drunk here.
Safe assumption.
So, yeah. I'm like, so you know how everybody stops when it says do not cross, like in New York City? It's not like that. It's not guaranteed here.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Broadway comes with its weirdness, definitely.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun chaos to embrace.
What is the most bizarre thing you have seen playing Broadway that is somewhat appropriate to talk about?
I don't even know. I feel like my brain resets every week because of the things that I see. I will say that if it's like the top most bizarre things that I see are usually at either Tootsie's or Kid Rock's.
Yeah, that tracks.
Like, I guess I could bring up like Saturday. Oh my gosh! So a series. By the way, side note. The security guards at Kid Rock's should be paid more than the other security guards on Broadway.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I genuinely feel like they deserve like hazard pay at that bar. So we didn't even start yet. There's this girl. We're getting set up, whatever. There's this girl. She just decided that she wants to sprawl out on our stage.
Cool. That makes total sense.
You know, the guitar player is like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and like she gets up, does it again, gets up, does it again. Finally, security's like, you got to get out. She's trying to fight security. It's craziness. He's calling for backup for this one woman.
Oh.
A few minutes later, still haven't started, by the way. Somebody throws up right next to the little steps to get onto the stage.
Oh.
We had to warn the bass player because he wasn't there yet to watch his step.
Don't slip.
Then, there was a guy, I don't know if, that door right next to the stage, or I think that's a kitchen back there or something.
Yeah, right.
Guy just walks in there, and he's talking to the staff back there, and they're trying to explain to him hey, can't be in here. He's not getting it, and he's just standing in there. Security's going in there. He's trying to fight security now. This is all happening within the first 20 minutes of our gig. I've seen quite a lot. On a more positive note, though, yesterday, there was a group of a family with a bunch of kids that came into my 6 to 10 at Tin Roof, and these kids were I'm thinking, okay, I see kids usually. I'm all right, I gotta do Taylor Swift, whatever.
Yeah.
I start playing Taylor Swift, and one of the kids comes up and he's like, "Can you guys play Metallica?"
Nice.
And I'm like, hold up, stop the music. I'm like, do you guys even like Taylor Swift? And they're like, no. I'm looking at their parents. I'm like, what's going on? We start playing Metallica. Then the kid comes up, and one of the girls comes up. She's like, can you play Bodies by Drowning Pool?
Oh my God. Yes.
And I'm looking at the parents. I'm like, is this okay? And they're like, yeah, dude, I guess all the kids played hockey or something. That's her fight song.
Nice.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then she comes up, and then I witnessed a child mosh pit yesterday.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I need to play a show with you, is all you're telling me. This needs to happen.
Dude, for real. Then she all kinds of crazy requests. She requested Trap Queen.
Oh my God, yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Just insane. So I see a lot of crazy stuff, but then stuff like that reminds me what we do is pretty cool. You know?
Yeah.
like the unexpected, but in the coolest way.
Yeah.
I never in my life thought I'd see a child mosh pit, but I did. And it was sick.
I need to see it.
It was so sick.
Yes.
What's great is we had Will Beeman on, and he was like, we had the first pit at Whiskey Jam. And then you're like, we had the first under 13 pit.
The age range was low too. The kids that were requesting were probably 10 or 9, but they also his family also brought babies. There was maybe these little kids were I think they were just learning how to walk.
Nice.
And kept falling over, but kept I'm thinking, oh my God, we're gonna scare these children when Drew's gonna start screaming during Bodies. These kids kept coming to the stage, and then they started bopping around like a 2-year-old. I'm like, these parents raised these kids so right. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
They're either going to be heroes or villains, but they are main characters for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, it was so sick.
Yeah, it restores your faith.
Right.
Those Broadway experiences like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about Broadway, man. It's you have those moments where you're like, God, I just hate people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have those moments where I'm like, wow, this is really cool. When you get people that come in, because, doing what we do, I feel a lot of the time we're just kind of the background noise to people's drunk escapades, and they don't really care about the music or what we're playing. When I came here, I was a singer. So I came here and I saw Broadway and I was like, this is so cool, from a musical standpoint.
Yeah.
Obviously I had a few drinks, but you know what I mean? It was cool to me from a musical standpoint. But a lot of people come here and they are here to party, and that is it. And they don't respect us and they don't care about what we do. But then you get people that come in and even on a dead night, I recently had this couple, it was Thursday night, Tin Roof, early February, so it's dead. And they stayed the entire night, and they were by the end of the night, they had given us $400.
Yeah.
Just them. And I had checked my Venmo, they had seen us before a month prior. And they're not locals. They came back to Nashville and they sought us out.
That's the best.
And purely just because they loved the music that we were playing, and I guess they loved how we played it. I don't really know. But I've had moments like that. I've had moments, again, dead bar. There was a night when we were bored as shit. And like, you know Steve Martin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steve Martin plays guitar with me on Thursdays. And he has an affinity for the 2000s girly pop stuff. He loves to play that stuff. I don't know if he'll ever admit it to you guys, but he loves to play that stuff. That's why I love having him around. And dead bars, like 1 a.m. It's like, hey, like, we should play Because of You by Kelly Clarkson. And I'm like, that is the saddest song in the world. But I'm like, but there's no one here, and I want to sing. Like, because I love, at the end of the day, I did this because I just love to sing. Singing was therapeutic to me. I was like, I want to just sing my face off right now and just have fun with it. While we're doing that, these 2 women walk in, and I'm like, oh no, like, because you get that mentality, right? Like, if you play anything sad or slow, you're killing the bar, At the end of it, they come up to me, and they're like, thank you so much for sharing your gift with the world. That is what, and I almost cried when she said that. Mm-hmm. She's like, she's like, thank you so much for sharing your gift with the world. That stuck with me. You know what I mean?
You don't get that.
Yeah, no.
You get, hey, play this song. What do you mean you don't know it?
Yeah. So like moments like that, because there are moments when you're out there and you're like, man, what am I even doing this for?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Like, and then you have people, like, those people mean so much to someone like me, because I'm a very sensitive person, Like, Broadway has, like, thickened my skin a little bit, but, like, I am very, unfortunately, sensitive and susceptible to like, the vibe of the room, and if the vibe is off, my vibe's off. You know what I mean? I have to, like, actively work on trying to not get upset or angry,
I think that's most of us, because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be creative like we are and not be sensitive to emotions and to vibes and feelings. And I think anybody on Broadway that's not is either faking it or just numb.
Yeah.
So how do you realign the vibe? Actually, question for both of you or all of us, but like, how do you realign the vibe if you sense something is off?
I mean, well, I think that's also, like, one thing that's really important that I've learned doing this is, like, surrounding yourself with the right players is so crucial, especially as a very sensitive front person like myself, who, like, doesn't necessarily have that ability to just turn off my emotions. Like, I have surrounded myself with a group of people that have kept me sane, and like Drew, like, I'm just gonna shout them all out, like Drew Meckler, Trent Hollingsworth, Steve Martin, Kenny Walker, who else? Preston Radomski.
Oh, I love Preston. I love Preston so much. He's a new guy to town also.
Oh, dude. He is, and he is such a light of a human being.
Yeah.
And that's something will get you far, like, even if you don't have the musical experience, like, I feel so bad for Preston sometimes, because, like, I'm always throwing him all these crazy songs.
God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we'll get requests, like, we'll get into that emo pocket of stuff, and he knows some of it, but, like, if I'm throwing, like, a random, like, Flyleaf song at him, he's gonna be like, and one thing about him is, like, 9 times out of 10 he'll figure it out and pull it off, but he has such a good attitude about everything that even if he does mess up, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, your energy and your vibe is so good that it makes, like, that's such a key thing. But, like, I feel like I'm forgetting people. I don't know. Who else do I usually play with? Tinvo.
I love Tinvo.
Great guy.
These are all heavy hitters, by the way. Like, these are some of my favorite folks. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just, like, these, like, surrounding myself with people that, when they see that I'm kind of getting, like, a little shaken or upset, like, one, they'll encourage me, like, they'll start bantering, they'll start trying to make me laugh. That's so important. Yeah. Like, and I think that is so key, because I feel like a lot of times, like, as a front person, I feel like there is a lot of pressure put on you to be, like, the sole person that creates the entire vibe. And I've been on gigs where, like, I walk in there and, like, it's not my band, and they're looking to me for all direction, anything said on the mic, they're looking for me to do. And I'm just not like used to that. My group of guys, like, we kind of approach gigs more in like it's like a team. It's a team effort. Like, nobody's more important than the other. Like, we are all actively like involved in setting the vibe and trying to make money and trying to, like, it's not all put on me. And that's huge, because like when I don't feel that immense amount of pressure, I can just kind of relax into it. And like sometimes if the vibe is off, dude, like, and people are just not responding or they're being rude, like, it's okay to just kind of at that point be like, all right, we're just gonna do our own thing. We're gonna play what we want to play. They don't like it. All right, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to turn over a room. Sometimes the room is just not right for you.
Yes. In a really crude way, I call it flushing the toilet. I'm like, we just have to refresh everything here and just start over with new people. And I don't mind that. When I coming into Broadway, it was like you learn immediately, like, the door is revolving with people.
Yeah.
And so I've learned pretty quickly to not take it personally when people leave. Because, like, some people just try to hit every room they can, and that's great. I think that's cool. So, okay, I'm sorry.
To piggyback off of that, I learned about the block system very early on when I was playing with Tyler Deaver. We would start every set with a block of 4 or 5 songs, hit a handful of requests, and then play another block of 4 or 5 songs. And what this does is that reinforces the flavor of what your band is and what it does. That way, you're curbing the requests to fit your band.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because they're hearing what you do, and that's making them think of songs that are in your avenue and getting rid of people that don't want that. So I am all about throwing a block of 4 or 5 songs in that aren't requests just to kind of refresh, hey, this is what we do, and put songs like that on everybody's mind.
Absolutely. Like, that was a huge thing. Like, because when I first started, like, I was kind of trying to, like, constantly genre hop and read the room and, like, just trying to do what I thought everybody was going to like. And, at the end of the day, like, not everybody's going to like what you do,
Right.
And I had to make the conscious decision to be like, okay, like, I'm going to come into every gig that are at least my gigs under my name, that, we're going to start off like you said, like playing the kind of music that we play. We recently implemented an opening block, because we used to not do that either. We used to just I would sing one song and then pass it to the next guy and we'd pass around. But shout out to Trent Hollingsworth again. He was like, hey, there's some changes we should make on this shift. And I was like, all right, tell me. So we did that. So we started with an opening block of 3 songs back to back with just me. And it does set the tone. Like, we start with I Love Rock and Roll, then we do Smells Like Teen Spirit, Sugar We're Going Down, back to back, to kind of just be transition, because usually on that shift we have a country band playing before us. So that's kind of a difficult.
You have to refresh the palate.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know that's what you had.
Yeah.
But this is a different dinner.
Yeah.
You're eating this now.
Yeah. So when you have a country band playing right before you, and then the music, the house music that's playing in between changeover is also country music. It's very, very, it's kind of daunting to just be like, yeah, forget about all that. Here's some rock music. Yeah. But, when you do that, I've had to learn to accept, there are going to be people that are going to walk out when I do this. But there are going to be people that stay, and there's also going to be a ton of people that hear that from the windows and just run right in. And I had to get comfortable with those first, that first half hour being kind of like a changeover of the crowd. So that was definitely something to get used to. But I think what we've done, it's been working, so I'm happy about it. We do tend to very much stick to what we do, which is the 90s, 2000s rock, pop type of thing. We don't tend to divert from that unless if it's kind of dead and there's like a group of people, and they're like, "Can you play freaking Cowboy Take Me Away or something?"
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm like, if they're paying, you know, whatever, we'll do it, and then we'll quickly go back. But like, if it's a full room of people that are here because they're like what we're doing, I will deny country requests, which is you know, kind of a hot take. I feel like, you know, to do in Nashville, it's a tough thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, that band can do it. And that band does it.
Yeah.
So you're going to enjoy it from them more
Exactly.
than us trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just have to, like, if we're not the band for you, there's hundreds of other bands that
Right.
are playing right now that might be the band for you. You know, so it's a tough line to like find, to like, okay, how do you stick to what your thing is, but also like keep people engaged, keep people in the room. And I'm still learning, like, you know.
No, it's a constant balance between, like, this is what I'm good at. This makes me sound not as professional, but I want your money because we all have to eat or it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a complicated balance. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you're wholly responsible at the end of the day of that decision.
Yeah.
That's the like there could be a request that throws everything off.
Absolutely.
And so the all genre shows, I've played several of them, and it just sucks when you're playing like banger after banger and you're taking all these requests and you're playing like different styles and stuff. It's cool to like to flex that muscle, I guess, but then you're going to have somebody, and I will never forget this, on a Friday night Legends Corner, and like up tempo after up tempo, and like we just had this packed room, and then somebody requested I guess a wedding song, and it was an anniversary, and like they paid for it. I think that they may have gone over $20 for it, and it was George Strait, I Cross My Heart, the slowest thing in the world. And it was devastating because we played it and we lost a third maybe, and we just didn't recover from that.
And
So,
that's all about, like, the reading the room thing. It's like, don't take $20 to lose half your crowd and potentially $200.
Yeah.
Like, you've really got to balance it. And I've had opposite nights where I was playing, I want to say it was Wallen's Roof, but I'm not 100% sure. But they had just sent out an email to all of the artists to, like, really focus on high energy shows, no slow songs, if you can get away with it, one or two max, without like a huge chunk of like high energy stuff. And that night we were getting slow request after slow request after slow, but the whole crowd, that's what they wanted. And it's like, all right, well, normally high energy is the way to go. Tonight, we're going to make bank off of these amazing ballads that puts everybody in their feels. And it was a great show, and we did the exact opposite of what we were told to do.
were you reprimanded on the back end from that, or no?
I mean, I wasn't. I haven't heard of anything,
I
so
love
I
playing
doubt
drums
it.
so much.
Right.
I love just leaving and that's it, going to bed.
But, like, there's no argument they can make to make that the right choice. You know what I mean? Like, what we did was absolutely the right choice, and everybody loved it, and everybody stayed, and it was a packed house, and main floor was dead. And so we won.
Wow.
So it's very, there's so many variables to where you can't set up a foolproof system. Like, it all has to be flexible.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict, honestly. Like, because there are moments when like a slow song like is the vibe, like you said, like one song that I feel like 9 times out of 10 will go over well is like Champagne Supernova, or like Don't Look Back in Anger, like those Oasis, the Oasis stuff. Like, it's kind of a slower song. Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, great song.
Yeah.
People like, so it really depends, but like you have to kind of like, I feel like you kind of have to like tease it before you do it, versus like just kind of like, and that's something that I've tried to learn too. It's like not pivoting so hard. Like, if I just was doing, I don't know, if I was just doing something really heavy, I'm not gonna immediately go to like playing Oasis. Like I might like
Right.
have like something in the middle that's like not as heavy, but it's still high energy. So like just having to like constantly think about these things so that you don't, because like if you pivot too hard, either genre wise or vibe wise, it can kind of also be like a little jarring. I feel like. To be honest,
absolutely.
You know, so there's so many factors to learn, and at the end of the day, it's still unpredictable sometimes. I feel like, and sometimes you just kind of have to like, Jesus, take the wheel type beat, and just like, you know, just kind of hope for the best, because you're not always going to be right.
Oh, absolutely.
I've thought,
and the crowd's not always going to give you a direction.
Dude,
Like,
I've watched people request songs and then leave during their own request.
That's devastating on a personal level. I'm like, how can we come back from that? What did we do? What did we do wrong?
And I don't know if we did anything wrong, or if they were just too drunk to notice that we were playing their request.
That could be.
I don't know. I've had people like request a song and then like we play it and then they'll try to request it again. And like we just played it.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
And then there's the crowds that like they don't respond to you at all. They don't give you anything at all. And you get to the end of the night and you're counting tips and you're like, holy shit, they loved us.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have told us.
Yeah.
I wish I could have played this show feeling okay because I thought we were sucking.
Oh yeah, no, that's happened a lot. And then but I think my least favorite thing is when you have a packed out room and people they are vibing, they're partying, but they are not tipping you and they are not requesting anything. Because it's like, it looks great to the bar, but we are not doing well right now.
Right.
And it's hard to like keep that positivity too during those moments, because it's like, this is great. I'm glad y'all are having fun, but like, like, hello, like, request something. Like,
The light bill needs to be paid.
like I have bills to pay. Like, I'm not doing this for fun, you know? Like, so it's a wild thing. It's a wild existence. I feel like just doing this. If you asked me like 5 years ago, I don't think I could have predicted that this would be my life.
That's fair.
You know,
Right? Sure.
especially, you know, not even coming from like a traditional like performance background. Could not have predicted this, but there is a part of it that I'm like, it's like a love-hate thing. Like, there are moments when I hate it, then it's like I don't want to do anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the idea of going back to like a day job, no thank you. You know?
I can't work for stupid people. And I've never had a day job where that wasn't the case, where somebody above me wasn't just an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
And would say things, and I just had to like go with it. I can't do that.
Yeah, I had that problem too, and that's why I tended to get fired from jobs a lot, not because I was bad at my job. Like, I was always like very like high performing when it came to like numbers and like productivity, but I'd always be that person that would like question things and like you know, be like, hey, like, you know, why are we doing this way? Like, we should do this a more efficient way. And I wasn't very good at like the corporate politics of things, and like, you know, I'm kind of blunt. I'm kind of matter of fact. I don't really like to, you know, sugarcoat things, and that is not good for most day jobs.
No. I mean, even in like the orientation time, I'm the one that's always like, oh, okay, well, I'm not doing that or that. Like, I'll do that and that, but I'm just gonna forget that was a thing.
Yeah,
that's dumb. I don't like that.
Yeah, I spent a lot of years, like, cause like again, like I was in this period of time where I was like, I had no confidence in myself as a performer, as a singer, but I wanted it so bad. I didn't know what capacity I wanted it in. I just knew I wanted to sing. I loved singing. I've been singing since I was 4 years old. I remember I have a distinct memory of like, we were having a family party And I just got up, standing on the couch, and I'm just screaming, "My heart will go on" at 4 years old at the top of my lungs to anybody that would listen, which they had to because I was screaming. But like always had this love for singing, and I spent many years, I did choir, I did chorus, I got vocal lessons, but it was all very like, when it came to like, okay, now get out there and do it, I spent a long time just lacking confidence in myself and just like being a perfectionist about it and like just being so scared. And, so I had this thing of like, it was calling me, like I wanted it so bad, but I didn't believe in myself. So I kept taking day jobs. I got a degree. I have a psychology degree. Like, I have a full-on bachelor's degree that I'm not using right now. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not in music. And I would take these jobs, and the pattern would always repeat itself, where I would get into it, I would do really well at it, but I wouldn't click with the people around me, and I would end up losing the job within like a year and a half. Was usually my expiration date. There was one job that I stayed at. I was working at I don't know how to say this correctly. I was working at a center for people with autism, and I was a direct support professional. I was taking care of adults with severe autism and developmental disabilities. I managed to do that for 4 years. So I don't know why, I don't know how that worked for me over an office job, but
I have my theories.
Could it be the ADHD?
I am convinced that the overwhelming majority of us are on the spectrum.
Absolutely.
And so you had just talked about not gelling with the people around you, but the job you keep is working with autism. And so I think it's the connection.
There were so many moments where I'm like, because I was working with guys that were like, a lot of them were nonverbal, but like I understood them. Like I was like, I get you, man. I don't like, he's not saying a word, but I was able to understand like just their mannerisms and like, what they were doing. And it was, so like, I think that's the only reason I was able to stay that long, and be able to like have patience for it. But generally speaking, jobs and me did not work out. So I think after getting fired from that, like that final job back in New York, I was like, I'm getting old. It's now or never. I need to either make this move to Nashville or,
put it away.
So I finally did it, and I still believe it's the best thing I ever did for myself. Truly.
That's cool to hear.
Because the people around me, they know I complain about Broadway a lot.
There's a lot to complain about.
I love to complain. I am a complainer. like I will find something to complain about all the time. But at the end of the day, I have to remind myself, like I am doing what I've always loved. I'm getting paid to do the thing that is therapy for me. Like singing is therapy. Singing has always been like a release. It's cathartic. It's genuinely the one thing that I've always known that like I can rely on, and I can release my emotions, and I'm good at. Like, like I always knew I was good at it. I was just shy about getting up there and doing it in front of people because of like anxiety. I don't know. But I'm really, it's the best thing I ever did for myself moving here. Honestly, like I have all of my friends from high school, they all have regular jobs. They all got, a lot of them stayed in Poughkeepsie. They bought houses, they have kids, they got married. They did the whole regular life thing. And I knew for a long time that was not going to be my path. Like I knew it. I didn't know how or why. I just knew it wasn't. And that whole thing was not working out for me there. And I think just, visiting Nashville and coming here and seeing like, there are people here, there's so many people here that are like me. Like, they didn't fit in their hometowns, and they, they didn't fit that traditional mold. And that's why they all took that risk and moved here. And that's something I can relate to, So.
Yeah. No, 100%. I feel the same way. I didn't find my people until I moved to Nashville.
Absolutely. And I've found some great people, you know, that genuinely some of my best friends here are the people that are in my band. You know, like that play with me regularly, and it's like, you know, there's just that level of like, we all had this crazy dream, you know, to just play music for a living. And a lot of people don't understand that, you know, people that took that traditional path, they look at this and they're like, when you're first starting out, of course, like now, like they look at you and like, that's so cool that you're a singer on Broadway in Nashville. Oh my God, I always knew you could do it. But before you did it, they were like, oh, that's not, you know, what's the word? That's not practical, you know? Oh, yeah. I don't think that's going to work out for you. I don't know. Maybe you should just get a regular job. You know?
Well, have you seen me at a regular job? That's not practical.
I would argue, me being at a regular job is less practical than this. So.
And I've been thinking about this very concept a lot because my oldest is about to turn 18 and step out into the real world. And her mom is very much the cookie cutter, practical, do everything like you're supposed to, by the book, in order, and that's how you have a happy life. Yeah. And I'm like, that would make me kill myself. I would hate everything and everybody.
Absolutely.
I am creative, and so I can't do that. That is torture. And she's creative. And I'm like, hey, there are no rules. You build your life to look like and feel like and do what you want it to do. Yeah. And she comes to me with all the stuff her mom says, and it's like, okay, yes. If you go and you get a corporate job, if you have the mindset for that, that's a stable career choice. If you don't, you can't handle that. And I can't handle that. And then vice versa, the whole stability thing, like you work your way up through a company for decades and then the company goes under, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
But if you're creative and you have a creative career, there are so many different facets that you can make money in to support yourself. Like if Broadway ended today, all three of us could have money coming in next week and still be playing music or doing something musical or teaching or like what have you. Like there is a way that we can still progress our career in a different direction. We can pivot in an instant.
Yeah.
You can't do that in a corporate job.
Absolutely.
Like you just do what you do and hope that it's still there tomorrow.
Yeah.
It would mean a full starting over, you know, in the corporate world. Whereas like it's a pivot. It could be an extreme pivot, but like still a pivot nonetheless. But like, I don't know, land on your feet. And
I feel
like,
way more comfortable in my career than I would in that career, just because if I lose my gigs tomorrow, okay, I know how to make money. Yeah. I've lost my gigs before. I've always come back around. I'll figure it out. It's not that hard. Yeah. We've had to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And there's a community here. Like, and that was what I first loved about Broadway, is like seeing that this is really a musician community.
Yeah.
And might share the commonality of not fully fitting in where we're from. I certainly felt that way, and it led a lot to the decision of moving down here. But like, I might have lost my train of thought. See, there that goes. Cool. Damn.
I feel you though. And
Goodness.
And not to say like we're all the same, because we are all vastly different, but we are all used to being vastly different in a world where everybody's the same.
Yeah.
So when we're around people that are vastly different, it's like, okay, I understand you on a totally different human level than I've ever understood a human.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely like it is such an unpredictable, it is a crazy thing to do what we do. Like to just reject everything we've ever been taught by society and just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna move to Nashville and play music and figure it out. But like that, it as unpredictable as it is, because yeah, we could all lose our gigs tomorrow. I could lose my gigs. I would panic. I would panic for a little bit, but there are so many directions I could take it to make money. Having that freedom and flexibility, I think, is something that I've always craved, you know? So, like, their stability sounds nice.
It does.
Like, it's like you do the same, you wake up, you know, you go to work 9 to 5, you come home Monday to Friday, you get a set amount of vacation, whatever. That sounds nice in theory, but I just don't think everybody's built for that. There are just people, and it sometimes it takes a long time to figure out that you're not built for it, you know?
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to accept, like, this is not gonna work out for me. I have to do, like, my life is gonna be not traditional. And that's something I have to accept and just kind of roll with it, you know? So, yeah.
And so the big one for me, like the whole, like, because I've been playing music my whole life with a handful of quote unquote day jobs in between. But when I went through my divorce and I was going for custody for my youngest daughter, that's when everything kind of clicked. It's like, if I didn't have this career, I couldn't argue that I should have custody of my kid. I would have to work every day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the ability to spend time with her, to do the things that I need to do for her. But because my job is what it is, which is polar opposite of everything that everybody else has said, I get to do that. I get to drive her to school every morning. I get to pick her up from school. I'm there. If she gets sick, I can make a phone call and somebody can play drums on my gig and I can stay home. Like, there's no problem.
Yeah.
I work a fraction of the hours that most people work and have so much time that I get to spend with my kids. And it's like, turns out this is the perfect job to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like, I have so much freedom and flexibility. And again, like, we work fewer hours and still bring in the income that we need to survive. Like,
Yeah.
it's the perfect option.
Yeah.
And so everybody else is just wrong. Is my conclusion. I'm right, you're wrong. It's how it is.
Like, not everybody's, like, built for that, though. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's different. And, like, I think some people just do thrive in that traditional way of life. And that's, like, fine, I guess.
I don't know how to talk to those people.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I was surrounded by at home. That's like, Nashville is such a, everybody that does Broadway kind of just, we all had that same thing. I'm like, we're not like them and we are going to do this crazy thing. And it's just like, it's very nice feeling normal for once.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, because now that I'm in it, it's like, it's so normal, like what we do to me. It's like, this is work. I'm going to work, you know, I'm going to go play covers for 4 hours, you know?
It's funny bringing somebody from outside of our world into it for the first time.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend very much knew nothing about country music, about Broadway, about any of it. And we met, and I'm like, I'm a drummer on Broadway. And she's like, cool, what's that mean? And I'm like, fuck. So, like, literally the coolest thing about me, she's like, I don't know what that means. So I don't know how this worked out to begin with. It destined to fail, but made it work, which is kind of the whole theme here. But like, she came out to a couple of shows and she was like, that's really cool, you're really talented, yay. I don't know any of the songs you played. And I'm like, okay, so still not cool. We went to a Rare Hair because a couple of my buddies were playing. And, you know, anytime one of my friends is out, I'm talking about who they are, like how I met them, how I know them, whatever. And we're driving back and she's like, are all of your friends this talented? I'm like, yeah. Why do you think I'm so fucking insecure? I'm friends with the coolest people on the freaking planet. Why do I belong here?
Dude, it's so real, man. Like, the level of talent here, too, it's insane. Like, the people, like, again, like, I'm always shouting out the people that play with me, but I'm in awe of the talent that I'm surrounded by. Like, honestly, like I feel like the worst case scenario for me to be in is to get on a stage and be the most experienced person on that stage.
Right.
And the most
Right.
skilled person on that stage. I always want to be the least experienced and the least talented person on the stage because that, like, I mean, you know, the Drew Meckler dude. He's getting mentioned so much. I love you, Drew, if you're listening.
Guess it's time to get him back on the podcast.
That's
If
fine.
you haven't had him on in a while, get him back on. That boy loves the mic.
He does.
But like, I'm just constantly in awe and constantly learning from the people around me. Like all of those guys, like especially me being someone again who came from not performing professionally. I'm surrounded by people like Trent, dude. He's been on stages since he was like a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm learning so much from him. And I think being around people like that, it forces you to be better. It forces you to get with it, you know? And I'm grateful for that. Like if I was around people that were not good, I don't think I'd be as good as I am now.
No, not at all.
You know?
Not at all.
So
No, it is always most beneficial to be the worst player on stage.
absolutely.
It's cool. I love hearing like the growth stories from the Broadway experiences and everything. It's just like it's musician boot camp. It totally is, and like it's great. It's so cool. Like if I take a video while I'm doing a shift or something like that, it's like I know 15-year-old me would be mind blown to know like, whoa, in 20 years you're playing like this. Yeah, like it's really, really cool. It's
That being
the best
said,
job
I
in the world,
totally
yeah.
wish I could view my playing from the 15-year-old me standpoint because, like, when you're on this level, improvements are very small and over a long period of time. So, like, I know I'm getting better. I'm told I'm getting better, but, like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
And so it'd be really cool to see that perspective change. To be like, oh, you really are good at this.
Yeah.
I would love to feel that.
Well, sometimes it's good, like, honestly, like, something that I do sometimes is, like, I'll look at, like, the first few videos of when I first started of me performing and, like, kind of compare it to now. And you can, to be able to, like, side by side the growth, it's insane. I mean, Broadway, it's, like, I'm very grateful, again, for my experience on Broadway because it fast-tracked my
absolutely.
ability to learn how to do this. Like if I was just like the amount of experience that I have gotten in like a 2.5, 3 year span doing this probably would have taken me like 7 years playing in like, you know, my hometown or playing in like just like an average like once a month cover gigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does fast track your growth as like it forces you like and that's the thing, like if you don't keep up on Broadway, like you're just there's somebody else waiting to that's more hungry and more willing to put in the work that is ready to take your job at all times. At all times. And that keeps you on your toes, and I kind of like that too. It's like, all right, well, you can try to take my job, like you know, like we'll see about that. But like you have to be that way. You know, you cannot. I feel like you can't stagnate.
Yeah.
You know, you always have to be learning. Always have to be getting better. Like keeping up with the current music and like what's
there's
trending.
always a new popular
you know?
song everybody wants to hear.
It's such a pet peeve when it's like, oh, I only learned up to like this era of music, and that like everything post a certain year is just I never really touched that. It's like it's an entire world of requests of things to So it's I don't know. I've always enjoyed like what's relevant in pop music and just and also coming from the radio background, it's more just like I don't ever want to grow stale of like there's a whole wave of artists that I wouldn't even know the first thing about. I don't really want to. I'd like to have a knowledge if it gets requested or something like that. You know?
Absolutely.
I think that's pretty vital. Yeah.
That's the thing too. It's like doing the kind of music that I do, like the 90s, 2000s emo shit too, like all the emo shit. Like there is a very small pool of players that know that stuff in depth on Broadway.
Yeah.
And like, if one of your guys is out and all the other ones that know it are unavailable, it's really, really challenging to find people that have taken the time to like learn that stuff. Because like, there are a lot of guys that just like, they just learned the standards.
And even then, there's
it.
a big difference in like, I can play the song and I know the song.
That's the thing. It's like, when I'm looking to hire people, it's not about like, people will be like, oh, just send me your list. And it's like, I have a list. Yeah, I have one. But I'm really looking for people that like know the genre and the era of music like in depth, not to the point of like, oh, I know how to play every song note for note. But if somebody comes up and they request Hawthorne Heights or Flyleaf or like Paramore that's not Misery Business or Ain't It Fun, like I want people that are like, yeah, I know that song, like I can get through it, you know? Or like, I mean, there is also a line of like, is this fakeable or is it not fakeable? That is important to know that about a song. But that's the thing, like just having the knowledge of the genre itself is very important, and it's very hard to come by around here. Like, I'm again, like very grateful for the guys around me because I found them. I don't know how I did it, but I found the ones that know it. Like,
Well, and that's the thing too. Like when you get into this community, like you find your people.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely did, and man, it took a while because when I first started, like I was kind of taking anybody that would take the gig, and like the big machine gig, let's face it, it was a hard sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a hard sell. And there were people that like my first round of players, some of them I'm still friends with, some of them I'm not. Some of them I'm still friends with, but like we understand that like we are just not musically aligned, and there was a long period of time where like I was molding myself to the players around me. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, if you're going to play for me, you're going to know the music that I want to play.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. You know what I mean? And it was challenging. And I got, there were people that I had graciously gave me their time when I was first starting out, that came and played those big machine gigs. I mean, like I managed to get Eric Gannis on a few of them.
Dude.
Cool. And like
Nice.
he is on my list now because of like he is a busy man, so I can't get him very often. But when I do, like he knows everything
And everything about like so going back to like the emo pop punk stuff, I am very much I know the standards.
Yeah.
You call Sugar, we're going down, I got you. You call any other Fallout Boy, I'm gone. Unless Eric is on the gig, because he can talk me through it during the song, and I will nail it like the record,
God,
because he is the best communicator I have ever worked with.
I've seen him do that on gigs. It is the most incredible thing to see.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he manages to communicate in such a way.
Such detailed instruction over the talkback and never missing his own shit.
Wow.
Like, just,
that's incredible.
Just he's like,
Yeah.
all right, there's a quarter note stop on 3, right now. Like
That's
like,
awesome.
Like
yeah.
you could almost go record this song just with him talking you through it.
Okay.
It's better than any chart that you could have.
I have watched him literally do that, like walk people through a song that they have never heard. And the song ends up going perfectly.
It's those are intricate songs though.
Yeah.
That's
They have parts.
Wow. That makes it all
He-
the more special, yeah.
He's really good at that, and maybe it's because they play together a lot, but Trent Hollingsworth is also very good at that. Very good at the talking people. I'm like, they'll just grab the talk back, and I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? 'Cause when I try to communicate things, I don't know. Like, I am communicating in hand signals and like, I'm like 1, 2, 3. Like, I don't know how to do that. That is a skill within itself. Like being able to like
It really
direct
is.
other musicians. And it's a valuable skill to have on a gig. Like,
Oh, it's
especially when you're me and I'm just like, I know what it's supposed to sound like, but I don't know how to communicate that to you. Also, I'm singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, So, I mean, he was one of the guys that, like one of the first like guys from that scene that, you know, would play with me. I've had Chris Bose.
He's one of my
I've
favorites.
had Trent play with me once on there. We joke about the fact that, like, I had him on the Big Machine gig, and then like I never called him again, and it was mostly because I was like, this guy has no business playing this dead gig with me, you know? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I would have played the gig with you, and I'm like, I was very insecure at the time, and I was like, I felt like these guys were like gracing me with their presence,
right.
You know, just playing that gig, because it was a rough gig, man, and you weren't gonna make a lot of money on it. You just weren't. Like, no matter what you did, it was about having people in the room, and a lot of the time, there weren't people in the room. So very grateful to have like those people come in and just like give me the reps on the songs I wanted to play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, yeah.
So what about another aspect of your job, which is bucket running? I don't know how you all do it, and I give you all so much credit.
Dude, so here's the deal. You opened a can of worms here. I hate the concept of bucket running. I hate it. I didn't come from the Tootsies training. I call it the honky tonk school, the Tootsies training. I didn't come from that background. So the first time that I went onto a gig and they were like, go run the bucket, I was like, what?
Oh.
Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to go panhandle right now? That's how I view it. I believe there is a time and a place to bucket run. And it is not every 30 minutes.
No.
It is not when there hasn't been any turnover of the room. I think I'm trying to word this in the best way. I find that I can solicit more requests from the stage. If you are good at what you do, and you are a good performer and a good band and a good vocalist, you can make just as much money soliciting requests from the stage than you can bucket running. Because sometimes bucket running doesn't work, man. It just doesn't. Especially when you're, again, someone like me who's my skill is the singing and performing. It's not necessarily being personable. You know?
Yeah, sure, okay.
And I've had to accept that. And I'll run a bucket, but like the main time that I'll run a bucket is like if someone's like, hey, go run a bucket, I'll be like, let me do a big song first.
Yeah.
Because if I get up there and I command the attention of the room before I go out, it's a lot easier to get people to, I mean, most of the time when I do that, they already have their money ready.
They're interested in you.
Yeah.
They have a reason to look at you.
Yeah. I've just done a big song. I also like to do the thing where like I have somebody else on the stage announce that I'm going to go bucket run.
Yeah.
So that I'm not, it's all like a strategic thing. I think that's the best way to do it though. Because if you just send me out there with no announcement and I haven't sang in like 3 songs,
you get lost.
They're like, are you in the band? Who are you?
Yeah, right.
Like, who are you? Why are you asking? What is that? What is that bucket? What goes in there? Like, and it's tough. It's tough, and it's tough going out there in any situation. I mean, you always have the people that are just creepy and weird and disrespectful just because you're a girl, you know? And they're like, it's not my favorite thing. It actually brings me immense anxiety. I don't like it.
Well, and that being said, like the way that you associate with the crowd to get them to want to give you money, I feel like has to be authentic to who you are. And so if you're running a bucket and you're uncomfortable running a bucket, you're not going to successfully do it that way.
Yeah.
If you're great talking to people from the stage and getting requests there, that's the way you need to do it.
Yeah.
When I run the bucket, I don't ask for tips. I hold a bucket and I just go talk to people.
Yeah.
I don't ask them for anything. I'm holding a bucket and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Are you enjoying the show? Have we played your favorite artist yet? Who's that? You want Vince Gill? Cool. Coming up. I'd never mention the bucket. and they almost always tip.
Yeah.
I take the requests if they give them, but I just talk to people.
Yeah.
That is how I do it, and it works. Like literally almost everybody every time will tip something when I run the bucket.
Yeah.
Now, I'm super comfortable doing it that way. Somebody else would not have the same reaction if that's not who they are.
Yeah. It's definitely something that like I again like coming to terms with like who I am, what my strengths are, and like not trying to be someone else, you know? Like the reality is that like my skills are on the stage, you know? And like I have people around me that they're not pressuring me to run a bucket. Sometimes like we've been doing this thing lately where like we'll have Drew run the bucket. We'll put like one of the guitar player on drums, and I'll take the guitar. I'll play "What's Up."
Oh,
because I can do that. I play a little guitar, you know,
Yeah.
like because I give band breaks all the time. I'll play a few songs when like the band needs to go to the bathroom. But we had this idea because Drew is so personable. Drew has no shame going up to anybody and starting a conversation. He's so sweet and so likable.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill like him. So, you know, we've been doing that lately and it works, man. Like he is so good at that. So it's like just knowing what your skills are and not faking it. Because if you go out there and you're fake, people can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like me going out there and being like, hey guys, where are you from? Like they know what I'm there for. They know I want their money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I've just kind of learned like, okay, like this is how I'm going to do it on my gigs. Like 99% of the time, if we have a room and we're getting back-to-back requests from the stage, I'm not running a bucket at all.
No, there's no reason to.
And if somebody on my gig has a problem with that, they don't have to play with me anymore. They can go play with someone that they feel is doing it the way they like it. That's fine. I've accepted that. Like, you know.
And you have those options here.
Yeah.
You can play with your people.
Like my own bandmates, they're like, dude, don't run the bucket right now. You sometimes, and that's another thing too. Sometimes the front person leading the stage is actually detrimental to the room.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I've heard about that. Like, I mean, Drew's told me stories about that with Monty. Like, if you send Monty around with a bucket for too long,
You lose your crowd.
starts to disappear. Like, so sometimes it's actually not smart to run the bucket. There are moments, it's all about reading the room, reading your crowd. Like sometimes there are moments where like you don't have a lot of people in front of you and they're all listening, but they're all kind of just sitting at the tables. That's a great time to run a bucket.
Yeah.
Because then like, okay, like maybe they just don't want to get up, you know? So
if you're not getting requests, it's a great way to go talk to people and pull some song ideas out, figure out what they want to hear. Yeah, it's all about, well, it's all about who you are and doing it the best way that you can do it to be authentic. Because at the end of the day, one thing and one thing only gets tips, and that's that they want to.
Yep. Absolutely.
Give them a reason to want to, and the reason to want to is they like you.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I agree with that, man. It's like, I feel like when people come to Broadway, especially going through the honky tonk school, like they are all trained in a certain way, and this is what you're supposed to do, and that is how a gig goes, no matter what. And like you just need to run the bucket every 30 minutes, and you're a girl, you're the that's your job. You like shout out to the dudes, the male fronts, like in a situation, like that where you're just like a male front, female co-front kind of thing, who will run the bucket too, because a lot of guys won't do that. PJ Ferguson, great example. He'll go run the bucket. that guy, I play gigs with him. He'll run the bucket. It's freaking sick. His freaking saxophone guy will run the bucket too. Nice. Because a lot of the times when you're in those situations, like you're the girl, so that's what you're supposed to do, and it's like. But why though? Like, why am I the only one that has to run the bucket?
Even if you start thinking about it logically, like that doesn't hold up.
It doesn't make sense because I understand what the train of thought is. Cute girl, bucket equals money. That's what people think.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. You have people in there that are misogynistic. You have jealous wives and girlfriends.
Yeah.
That are with, you know what I mean? That a girl running around with a bucket isn't necessarily the smartest option. Sometimes you should have two people running the bucket at least, the male and the female, because the people that aren't going to respond to the girl might respond better to the dude. You might make more money that way, you know? Like, people don't really think about, like, I feel like they just think girl bucket, that makes money. And I don't think.
No, what makes money is they want to experience something with one of the people.
Yeah.
A guitarist running the bucket works great because guitar is very upfront, in your face. You see it, you hear it, you know what that is, and you know that it's cool.
Yeah.
So they want to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
And so that guy coming around being like, hey man, what's up? Builds that connection.
It's definitely like, I feel like the one size fits all thing of like, I don't believe in it.
No, it doesn't work.
I don't think anything is one size fits all, like as a system on Broadway. Tipping or bucket running or making your song blocks or crowd work or reading the room, like it stands to have a few systems in your back pocket to switch from. And yeah, it's all reading the vibe of the room. I mean, it comes down to that. But I appreciate your insight with all that because I did it twice. And the first time was, second time was good. It was a Jake Holder gig. He had somebody else on the kit. And when he sent me out, he announced it. And people like had money ready, maybe with a request. Like it was super easy. People were like, yeah, like come over to here. That was fine. First time was ridiculous. It was, do you remember when Jelly Rolls first opened and that stage was like elevated 100 feet in the air, like on a platform?
I played that stage quote. I'm putting air quotes right now.
Yeah, that was a one time for me. So first on drums, you're not visible.
No.
There's no chance
No.
the way that was set up you'd ever be visible. So there was that. Half the band was sick. So the guy who would run the bucket, and he's pretty successful, was like so sick he couldn't even stand on stage, let alone walk around. And then front guy's doing acoustic, other guy disappears, I don't know. So like it was a last resort situation. So I take it and I go all the way down, So I'm finding like I'm starting conversations with tables and everything. And I don't mind doing that. My issue was I literally forgot at times the money part. It was so dumb. I'd be like, hey, where are you guys from? Were you celebrating? And go through like this entire conversation. Maybe somebody's wearing like a sports logo I could talk a little bit about. And then it would literally be like, oh, well, hey, have a great night. And then I would walk and then like, oh, son of a bitch. It's like, oh, you can't go back now.
No.
And so then the second table, I get lost again in the conversation. And then I say, have a good night. And I'm like, oh, God, come on. So I had to like go back and be like, nobody was, no one's interested.
Dude, I will say like being able to like, being a good bucket runner is a skill.
Oh, yeah.
It is like, I give those primarily women credit because like, man, like I don't think it is a personality thing at the end of the day. It's a confidence thing, but the ability to go out there and just make a ton of money. I don't know how they're doing it, but shout out to them because that is not easy, especially when you're dealing with drunk, creepy people people are sometimes mean, man.
Yeah.
Like it's tough. Like to just go out there and like smile and just be positive when like people are being mean to you and like degrading you because you're a woman. Like, like it's hard. Like shout out to those like the women that have really figured it out. I don't know.
There really has to be more of a light on the treatment of women on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And some of like the old misogynist systems, like we're good to shed those. We're good to lay those out. And just get rid of them. And I don't know. Yeah.
Well, and like,
This be better treatment.
Sitting in the back of the stage as a drummer, I get to watch, and I see a lot more than what a lot of other people get to see. And like, it's 100% this idea of just like, they can't stop you. That's why they feel like that. They're going to be mean to you because they feel like you can't stop them.
Yeah.
And like you get somebody that's got a big personality that will stand up to them and they back the fuck down real quick. Like Monty gets in your face, you shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
You shut the fuck up real quick.
Yeah, dude.
And I mean, Linnea,
Yeah.
she'll discipline you politely and make you feel not just scared but stupid at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
She's the type that'll just be like, "Oh no, honey, we ain't doing that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, "You're right. We're not anymore because now I'm embarrassed."
Oh, yeah.
That was a great conversation with Linnea about being a woman on Broadway and the treatment from venues and managers and like sometimes the calls from inside the house too.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've heard horror stories of management, band members just treating women awful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely tough. Like I am surrounded by. I've said this a million times on this podcast, but I cannot stress this to you enough. Like it has taken a lot of trial and error, but I am surrounded, at least with my own band, by people that view me as an equal. They respect me. Mm-hmm. I'm treated very well by the players that I play with, and like as I should be, because if I've had people on my gigs also that have come onto my gigs and tried to tell me what to do and tried to tell me to run the bucket better, and people that I hired. And they've never been hired back. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go onto someone else's gig and like, again, it's that mentality of like certain circuits that I've mentioned. I don't care. I'm not tied to the Tootsie circuit. I'll mention them. It's the mentality, man, of like, you know, you go in there and the woman is usually never actually the one in charge. Mm-hmm. She's always the little sidekick. She's always the co-front. And they're used to seeing things a certain way. You come onto my gig, this is my gig. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do things my way. But you wouldn't believe, like, I've had players that were new to town that should be, it was in their best interest to try to, you know, retain work. That have come onto my gigs and told me that what I'm doing wrong and then told me that I need to run the bucket now and do this. And I'm like, no, I don't.
And the thing is like, if there's actually a problem, there are so many ways to have a conversation about it and to fix the problem that doesn't build any animosity or paint you in a negative light at all.
Yeah.
Like, and even like, if I didn't know you and I was on your gig and I was like, hey, do you think we should run the bucket? And you're like, no, I think that's a bad idea. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have expressed what I thought.
Yeah.
You run the show.
Yeah, and that's
end of story.
that's perfectly fine. I've just had people that like it's tough because like I feel like there's not a lot of like actually female fronted bands on Broadway. Yeah. Like most of the times when you're working on Broadway as a female vocalist, you are in the co-fronting capacity.
Yep.
Like it's hard to get even booked as a solely female-fronted band. And so people, I think, are not really used to working with that. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of players that don't even really know a lot of female repertoire because they're so used to playing with male fronts with maybe a female co-front that sings maybe 20% of the time. So they only know a few female songs. And then they get on a gig with the female front and they're like a fish out of water.
I know 18 songs, that's all.
Yeah, I know. And like it's like there's people like again like Drew, like Eric Gannis, like Trent, who have played with primarily female fronts. And those guys are really, really valuable to people like me because they know all the material already. Like, and even in the specific subgenre, like not just female music, but also just like female 2000s pop and rock music.
Yeah.
They know that stuff. It's I'm not even sure where I was going with this. I guess I feel like a lot of people when they come in and they're learning the songs, they don't prioritize female songs.
It's the lack of self-awareness. That's kind of my. It's like, did you not think you could ever work with a female front in Nashville on Broadway?
and,
You probably
and I
would
mean,
get paired at some point.
I fell into that trap back home. Like there were barely any female vocalists at all.
Yeah.
And so I didn't play with many, if any. And then moving to Nashville, I started playing with Tyler Deaver extremely regularly. I played with Annie Gavin regularly.
Yeah.
But she does a lot of male songs.
Yeah,
so
she does, yeah.
I still wasn't doing primarily female on any gig. And, you know, coming from playing with like really like older Nashville guys that had done their Nashville thing and retired, and then just like, because I basically took my dad's spot when he stopped playing. And so I was playing with guys 30, 40 years older than me. And from their point of view, like the idea of having a girl in the band is bad. It's always problems. It's always drama. They're always crazy. It's always this big thing. And not that I had much of an option anyway, but that's what I grew up in the music world learning, is that if there's a girl, then, you know, you got to be very careful because everything's going to go south real quick. And then I get to Nashville and I start getting more and more opportunities to play with female artists, and it's the exact freaking opposite. Like 90% of the time, they don't have the ego problems. They don't have the self-control problems. Like, you want to talk about like people getting emotional and screwing up a gig, like that's never been a female front. It's never been the female front. Like after the gig, debatable. If something upset them, like it could be a thing. Like, but like I've never seen any female artist get pissed off and walk off stage.
Yeah.
Ever. I've seen men do it a shit ton, like countless times. Countless times.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, I think it's also like I did actually listen to a bit of Linnea's podcast.
That's a great episode. She's amazing.
She mentioned something on there about how like we are held to a different standard of behavior. Mm-hmm. So like a guy can like walk up to a booker and be like, "What the hell's going on? Why weren't we paid?" Or like they can do something like that. They can get pissed off and angry and storm off stage. And 9 times out of 10, they'll get away with it. Mm-hmm. Whereas if we do that, we're out of control. We're too emotional. Maybe we can't handle being a band leader. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's too much pressure for us. We need to calm down. That is very real. Mm-hmm. And it, not necessarily, I mean, shout out to Tin Roof, by the way. Tin Roof playing there has been such a wonderful experience, because I hear a lot of stuff about like, oh, they're telling us what we can and can't play, and like all these confrontations with management, micromanaging bands. I've never had that happen to me once at Tin Roof. Like, they're always like, hey, like, dude, like, that was sick. Like, all they care about is, are you bringing people in? Are you keeping them here? We don't care what you're playing or what you're doing.
I mean, shouldn't that be the goal? Like, I think that's the goal.
Just let the bands run. Yeah. Let them do what they do.
And if you really want like a specific thing, hire that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing too. It's like there are bars here that like, I mean, I don't like. Again, I have no ties to this bar, so I'm just gonna say it. Lucky Bastards is digging their own grave by just saying, like, getting rid of all of their like rock bands out of nowhere. They're like, we're just actually gonna completely not have all the bands that were like the main draws of this bar. We're getting rid of them. Like, not to mention the fact you look like a fucking rock bar. Yeah, like insane choice. And I don't know what's going on with them, but I don't see that bar lasting much longer.
I mean, that's been an issue with them for quite a while. So they always kind of make it work.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they got to make it hard on themselves.
Yeah.
But that's like if I had a bar and I didn't want you to play your music, I don't hire you.
Yeah.
It's stupid for me to hire you to be a Shania Twain cover band if you're a rock star. Like, why?
At the end of the day, too, it's like sometimes, and it's not always, I'm not saying it's always going to be rock. I'm like, sometimes country's the right fit for a certain time and a certain stage. But like, instead of trying to micromanage, like, we are this bar, so we want to give off this vibe musically. Look at your numbers.
Yeah.
Just look at your numbers. Look at your bar sales. Look at the amount of people in the bar. You should maybe go off that. Why are you, if rock is working at a certain time, on a certain night at your bar, and then you switch to country and your numbers are significantly less, why, logically, would you want to stay country at that time? You know what I mean?
Like, I understand having a brand and wanting, that brand recognition, but if your brand ain't working.
Yeah.
So I play with a few bands on that circuit. We sneak rock in.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets requested, or sometimes it's just like the vibe. And
Yeah.
I think, I'm seeing that with some other bands too. It's like, there's a time and place. We can genre hop on this, and we can play some rock, and it's not going to offend anybody. It's not going to drive the bar out. We have several tables collectively asking for Creed at the same time. We happen to have Sunshine James in the band, who is Scott Stapp also. Like,
Right.
We're gonna nail it. You're gonna be happy about it. Like, I'm sure, yeah.
But it's crazy because like the amount of, I've never experienced this again because like primarily currently my gigs are at Tin Roof, and I play Whiskey Bent once a week, which I don't know how we ended up there, but they love us.
That's great. Cool.
That's
It's an interesting room.
talking about places that like shy away from that brand thing. Like, dude, I've seen every kind of everything there.
Dude, like every week I go back there and we finish the gig and I'm like, I have no clue how we've survived this long. And then every week the bartender's like, see you next week. And I'm just like, okay, I have no clue. But like, I think maybe they're just like, I mean, they're one of the bars, like, a lot has changed on Broadway. Obviously, a lot of the newer bars are taking away from these older bars that I think are way cooler. But like, just because of the history of them, like R.I.P. Second Fiddle,
Yeah.
That was sad, really sad to see.
That was my home for literally like 4 years.
Yeah, like that was like really, really sad to see. But like, Whiskey Bent, Tin Roof, there are certain bars that have like figured out we're gonna hire good bands regardless of genre. We're gonna hire good bands that are entertaining, and we're gonna let them do their job. And we're not gonna tell them what to play. We're just let them do their job and trust them to do their job. And if it comes to a point where it's not working, then maybe we'll switch it up.
And that's the thing.
And that's fine.
You have that option.
Yeah.
Like, if the band isn't doing what you need them to do, you get a different band.
Yeah. But like the whole, like, I've heard of, certain circuits that I have not played in, but I have heard about it, where they're getting in their ears being like, stop playing so much rock. Play more country. Play this. Why are you playing that? And it's like, dude, we're getting, like we're going off of what we're being requested. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not playing this Rage Against the Machine song because I just felt like doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I am getting
17 people asked
for it. Like, maybe, perchance, you should just let us do it because to make them happy, to stay longer, and then drink more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
have a conversation if it's not working.
Yeah, like
not when it's working.
That's the kind of thing that blows my mind that I've heard of so many times that they're like, dude, like, we are getting requests to play rock. The room is calling for it. If we played country right now, they're going to leave. And some of these bars are still on these bands. about you need to play more country. That doesn't it makes no sense to me.
No.
It makes like
That's that corporate micromanagement
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it brings me back to those days. Like, that's.
I mean, that's 100%
that's
what it
the
is.
worst.
It's
makes no like if I owned a bar, my biggest thing would be at the end of the day, what's the bottom line? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how a business I feel like should operate. Like at the end of the day, a business exists to make money. So like to actively go against what the crowd in your bar is asking for makes no sense to me. It's wild.
And I could see some of these ideas in a different setting. But on Broadway, when it's a brand new group of people literally every other night, and these people come from everywhere,
Yeah.
like, sure, if the name of your bar is Jason Aldean's, you gotta know some Jason Aldean.
it would
You
have-
gotta
yeah.
know some country of that era.
Yeah.
You gotta have that sound in your back pocket for sure, because somebody's gonna want it. That's why they went there. There's a brand.
Yeah.
But not every time. And sometimes they really like Alan Jackson. Sometimes they really like My Chemical Romance. Sometimes they really want some Alice Cooper. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit? Like, are they ordering food? Are they ordering drinks? Are they happy? Are you making money?
Yeah.
If so, let me do my fucking job.
Dude.
That's the stupid I can't take in the regular world.
That's what I'm like.
It's
I was
like,
just gonna say
oh,
that.
so you want to not make money? No, we're gonna have to have a conversation, buddy.
I left that life behind. I left the end of day meetings. Absolutely not anymore. Oh yeah.
If we suck at it, yeah, we can have a
Yeah.
conversation, and you can tell us what we did wrong as we're walking out the door. But if it's working, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. If a manager gets in my ears,
Oh, I would lose
I
my
would
mind.
never forgive you. Like, yeah.
Dude, like, I don't know. It's like, at the end of the day, even when the crowd, sometimes they don't know what they want, because
Yeah.
sometimes they don't. Sometimes, like, you'll ask them what, like, country or rock, or like, you know, like you'll do that kind of thing, and I'll be like, what kind of music do you like? And they're like, we like everything.
What's music?
What's your favorite song to play?
Oh, I hate that.
And I'm like, the one that you're paying for. But like, you know, like, but that, you know, whenever I get that answer, I'm like, okay. And at that moment, I'm like, we're going to play what we're good at, what we like, and we're going to have, the important thing is to have fun while doing it and show it. Because sometimes, man, like, you know, if I'm getting bombarded with country, like, you know, I have a respect for country music. But I'm from New York. I didn't grow up on a lot of it. Believe it or not, the first time I ever heard Strawberry Wine was down here. I had never heard that
believe it.
song
I
in
do
my
believe that.
life.
Yeah.
Like I had heard before He Cheats. Like I heard of Carrie Underwood, like the very like pop, almost rock-esque country. But I wasn't raised on that. So like, you know, I get too much into a country pocket and I start losing that spark. And you can see it. I feel like it's visible to the crowd. When you start requesting the stuff that I like, I start lighting up. I start moving around. And sometimes, like, even if it's not what they necessarily like, they're entertained anyway. That doesn't work all the time. Some people are just adamant about what they want to hear, and that's fine. If you want to hear traditional country music, you're in the wrong bar right now.
Yeah.
At that point.
But
You know
that
what I mean?
bar, that bar, that bar, that bar, they've all got you
Go
covered.
to Layla's, go to Robert's, go to AJ's. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many bars you can go to. That's the beauty of Nashville, you know? And there's something for everyone. I think there's also been, like, I'm part of the Nashville Visitors Facebook group.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah.
That place is crazy.
Dude,
They're nuts. Yeah.
But I've seen an increase lately of posts of, like, you know, we're coming into town. We don't like country music. Where can we find good rock bands, good alternative bands, 90s rock kind of stuff? I'm seeing an increase of that. So there is a demand for it.
oh yeah.
You know, like, I believe, like, my second, so like I said, I do, on Fridays, I've done Tin Roof second floor for, like, the past year. We've lost it temporarily due to slow season, but
It do be like that.
I'm pretty sure we're getting it back next month.
Nice. Okay.
But that shift has gone surprisingly, unbelievably well, like numbers wise, and overall, like crowd-wise, like we've been told like we haven't seen crowds like this up here ever. And I firmly believe it's because people, like, they're wandering around, whatever. They stumble upon the staircase. They come upstairs and they're seeing something that they're not seeing everywhere else. And it's interesting to them, you know? And, like, they stay and they hang out and they're like, I've been looking for this. Like, I have been to 15 bars where they're all playing the same 10 songs.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon you and you're playing stuff from my teenage years, you know what I mean? And like, there's a value to it. And like, I wish the bars would have more faith, you know, in bands to just kind of do their thing. And like, I don't know. Yeah. I could ramble about this for a while, but like, you know, sticking to like what you're good at, what you love, and having fun with it. I think regardless of genre, people are gonna be into it.
And I've said it on the podcast probably a million times. If you're having fun, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
They will have fun.
Yeah.
When you're having fun, the music could actually become secondary to them. Like
I
the
think
vibe
it absolutely
is what,
does. Yeah. I mean, again, the most popular bands are never the best bands. They're the most fun bands.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Unless you're a jazz club, then maybe not. But that's a different world. We don't talk about that on this podcast because we don't know shit about it.
That was a fun world. I enjoyed that world for a bit.
I tried, but I played jazz like a rock drummer, and it's cool. People like it unless they wanted jazz.
Yeah.
But all of that, I think that wraps it up nicely. Like, just if you're having fun on stage, people are having fun off stage. And that's a really core tenet to kind of get behind. And then everything else is just a detail to that. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's the goal. If you want to be entertaining and make sure people are having fun, you have to be entertained and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that bleeds off the stage. We are going to go ahead and wrap up. We have gone a little bit longer than I intended, but it was a great conversation.
I loved this episode
Yes.
so much. And I love all of our episodes. I truly do. I loved this one. I had so much fun. I really think you're a success story, Vikki. And being on stage with you so early on.
Oh,
So like,
that's so sick.
Yeah, really. And it's cool to have this story of like just jumping into the deep end, really. So this was a lot of fun.
I think a lot of people did that. I think they were like, okay, here we go. And it's sink or swim. And they figured it out real quick. Yeah. And you're definitely one of those. You went into the deepest end. How can people find you and follow you online?
I'm at Vikki Nova Music on Instagram, Vikki Nova Music. That's my Instagram. It's pretty much where I post everything. That's why if I'm playing a gig, you can kind of find that on my stories and stuff. So, yeah.
Nice. Definitely follow her. She's fantastic. Thanks again for coming on the show. I think this is a fantastic conversation. We covered a lot of my favorite topics to get into.
Thank you guys for having me.
I love it. Bri, buddy.
Yeah.
Where can they find you this week since you change your socials frequently?
No, I'm back on TikTok. Brian Morelli Music on Instagram and TikTok. And actually, while we're here, I just want to give you my thrift store finds. These are stickers that these are going to go on my water bottle and going to join. So I got some stickers from a thrift store in Knoxville. So I'm going to just go quickly through these.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we binged Heated Rivalry. So I've got the guys, the stickers. That's a great show. Gyarados, who is my second favorite Pokemon.
Who's your first favorite?
Scyther. They didn't have a Scyther sticker.
Scyther's a solid choice.
Yeah, I know.
Solid choice.
But Gyarados, I think I relate to because most of the time I'm Magikarp. But like when I get into a flow state, usually on drums, I think I evolve.
That's fair.
Yeah. This is just a cat licking pizza. You can't go wrong with this one, right? This is a cat. This is True Music with the buds and the hands, and this is the Dream Theater logo, which
nice.
For Drew Meckler, I think you would dig this one too. So
Shout out Drew.
Shout out Drew.
Again.
For the 15th time.
That might be my favorite sign off for you ever.
Good.
I
Excellent.
love everything about you,
I'll
buddy.
do it every time.
Next time, warn me though, so I can come up with something better for
Oh,
mine.
sorry.
Actually, hand me my thing right there.
What do you have?
My
Oh my God, yeah, this is
my
incredible.
in-ear box. I can. Yeah.
I'm not gonna reach it. I'm stuck.
Okay, so I have a 3D printer, and I 3D printed a box for my in-ears. Cause I'm a nerd, but it works, and that makes me happy. And it come off the printer like this. I didn't have to build anything or put anything together. It's fantastic. Not as cool as I gotta get stickers
Are we
for
going
it.
to start a show and tell segment
Yes.
for Nashville for Nobody?
Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm into it.
100%. You can find me at Story of Bob or Story of Bob Music everywhere. Look for the podcast Nashville for Nobodies on all the socials. I'm getting better at social media. Working on it. Definitely hoping to continue to get better. But if you haven't seen a Nashville for Nobodies post in a few days, absolutely send me a DM and be like, hey, buddy, get to work. And I will try and do that. Keep in mind that I am a full-time working musician and I have lots of kids, and doing things outside of anything of that nature is hard. That's my excuse for today.
Nice.
That being said, we will talk to you next time. Bye.